So material requirement planning is nothing but whenever we need material or whenever we have a requirement, we are going to place an order to supplier. This is a manual. Till now we have seen the manual job. We will get a requirement from customer. We will get the requirement from production, stating that we need this material for production, we need this material for selling to customer, and we plan accordingly, and we get the material from supplier and sell it or give it to the production. But why can't we make this automated? Every time we should calculate everything in system, see when the stock is going down, and we need to order manually and get the stock. So why can't we automate this in system and make the planning happen automatically? So making planning automatically is a job of MRP, that is material requirement planning. Before we speak about material requirement planning, we need to speak about different types of material we have in SAP. So types of material we have in SAP. So first thing is the direct material. Second thing is the indirect material. And the third one is the services. Can someone tell what is direct material, indirect material, and services if you know? I think we already discussed what is direct material, what is indirect material, what is services, at least in a basic level.
Direct material are a kind of raw material which helps in manufacturing.
Okay. Indirect. Okay. So direct material is not an SAP terminology. Direct material is a business terminology, which can be different from business to business. Each and every business can call in different name. The general meaning of direct material is, let's say that you have a finished material. And to get this finished material, you need some semi-finished material. You need some raw material. Okay. Or to get this semi-finished material, again, you need some raw material. Okay. So all these material, which are listed down here, we are going to manufacture. We are going to buy this material. As soon as we are going to buy this material, we are going to use this material and manufacture this material. Again, we are going to use this material and we are going to manufacture this material. And finally, we are selling this finished material. Any material which we are buying, getting that processed, and we are selling, all those materials are called as direct material. So what is direct material? Direct material is nothing but all the materials which we are buying, processing, and selling. Those all materials are called as direct materials. So this is a material which is going to be produced into semi-finished material. So this is also direct material. This is also direct material, and this is also direct material. And to produce the semi-finished material, we know that we need raw material 1, raw material 2, raw material 3 with the help of bill of material. We saw this bill of material terminology in the subcontracting. We said that to get this finished material, we need to send these components to supplier. We can tell we need this raw material with this quantity. So basically your raw material, your semi-finished material, and your finished material, which are linked with bill of material, where you're buying this material, processing this material, and selling this material. So all these materials, all this process would be considered as the direct material. Okay. Now let me take an example. Consider that you have a small factory. But let me take an example of a juice industry. An FMCG industry, under FMCG industry, you have a juice industry. In manufacturing of juice is a finished product. Okay, or we can call it a semi-finished product. To manufacture this juice, we need sugar, we need fruit, can sell fruit concentrate. Okay, then we need water. After this manufacturing of juice has happened, you need can to manufacture, so you to pack this. Then you need the packaging material. Okay, packaging material is nothing but a cardboard box. Okay, then you need the plastic wrap to pack it and send somewhere. So all these are your all these are your raw materials, or it can be a semi-finished material. So for example, fruit. This is your raw material. This is your semi-finished material. Water is your semi-finished material. Can is your semi-finished material. Packaging material is a raw material. Plastic wrap is a raw material. Sugar is a raw material. Using these semi-finished materials, raw materials, you are getting a juice as an output. That is your finished material. Okay, so these all materials would be considered as direct material. Okay, but to get juice, only these materials are not sufficient. To run a business, only these multiple materials are not only required. So direct material is not sufficient to run a business. To run a business, you need another set of materials. So those are the indirect material. What are indirect material? Indirect material are nothing but the material which is used for processing. The material which you are used for processing. You can process those. You can work on those. You will buy the material, but you will not sell. Like consumables. Indirect materials are nothing but your consumables. You will be buying those, you will be using those, and you will be getting the finished product. For example, your operating supplies. Your machinery tools. Your consumables. Your spare parts. Your office supplies. So all these are your indirect material. So the material which are not part of direct manufacturing or directly supplied to the customer, but those materials which are used for manufacturing of direct material. So these materials you will be using to manufacture the juice also. So we need machines, we need office suppliers, we need gloves, we need safety shoes. So all these are considered as the indirect material. So the materials which are used directly in the manufacturing and that is going to customer are called direct material. The materials which are used in the back end but not sold to customers are indirect materials. Okay, and then there are services which we purchase if we get a machine repair, then a service person will come and do a service and go. So now why am I speaking regarding this direct material and indirect material? Because the direct material and indirect material planning is going to get varied. Okay, so how the planning is getting varied? Assume that you got an order of 100 apple juice. As soon as I get an order of 100 apple juice, a certain period of time. So we will start planning. For 100 apple juice, you know that per apple you can produce one juice. So you need 100 apple. You are going to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. So you need 200 tablespoons of sugar. Per juice, you're going to put 250 ml of water. So 250, 25,000 of 25,000 ml of water. You need 1,100 cans. Or in one carton box, you're packing 20. So you need 5 carton boxes. Plastic wrap, you need 5 meter of plastic wrap. So as soon as you get an order, you're exactly planning what is the raw material, what is the semi-finished material you need. Because you know, because you are running the business, you know what we need. So this is the planning for the direct material. The planning for direct material is very smooth, very easy. So you know what is needed and you will order exactly what is needed. But when you come to indirect material, for example, think that we will tell how many office supplies are required to manufacture 100 juice. We don't know how much of office supplies is required. For example, to run a machine, to get a juice manufactured, you need a juicer mixture. So to run a mixer, you cannot plan how much electricity you need. In some time, the electricity might be there, and you might also face a power cut. You need a backup. You need to keep a generator. For generator, you need to use a diesel. So we don't know that the electricity might go or not, but you should have a backup of diesel. If electricity goes, we don't know how much time does the electricity goes. You cannot plan that how much diesel will be required for this. So in this way, we cannot plan right. So this is the major difference of planning between direct material and indirect material. So direct material is a structured planning and indirect material is unstructured planning. Okay, so we have different ways to plan these materials. We will be discussing on that planning. Based on that, we need to decide which type of planning we need to use and when we need to go to ad hoc procurement. When I say ad hoc procurement, on the spot, you will be raising the purchase requisition manually. That is ad hoc procurement. Okay, for the smooth production and to buy a raw material and sell the finished material, we need these processes. We need direct material as well as indirect material. But for this process, MRP plays a major role only for the direct material, not for indirect material. Okay, so first we will understand how are we going to plan for direct material and see how MRP is going to play a major role in this. Okay, so now we discuss regarding direct material, indirect material and services. Any questions here before we move to the main topic, MRP? Any questions? Okay, if no questions, then the main topic is MRP. Now let's quickly jump to the MRP. As I mentioned, MRP is a planning tool which makes sure that when we need the material, so first thing, one second. Okay. So MRP is going to look after when we need material, where we need to procure the material. When I say where we need to procure the material, in which plant, not with vendor, that is taken care of the purchasing team. So the plant, in which plant the stock is going low, to which plant I need to procure the material, and what quantity should I procure. So for example, now I have 100 pieces of stock. The stock goes below 20 pieces, and now MRP will get triggered and buy the material. And MRP should trigger before the lead time. If the lead time is 10 days, so it should consider the 10 days lead time also. Okay, so MRP is an engine which would be running to tell you which material is consuming more, which material is consuming less, and if it is consuming more, then it will tell you when you need to place an order so that you will have the stock at right time to get that utilized. And it is also going to tell you what is your requirement and from where you're going to get the requirement. Your requirement can come from sales order. Your requirement can come from stock transfer order, the reservations, the production order. So the requirements can come from sales order. The customer might order the material. The production department might require the order. Some other plant will place an STO saying that I need this material. Then you will have the reservations. They'll place a reservation saying that I want to reserve the stock for this project. You might get a plant maintenance order, a service order. There's nothing but service order. For all these requirements are going to come, and it is going to fetch from where all the requirement is coming, and it will check for this requirement the stock what we have in the warehouse is sufficient or not. If it is not sufficient, then it is going to place an order. So this is basically your requirement. This also takes case for the suppliers. Okay, so what comes under supplies? Purchase requisition can be a supply. Purchase order can be a supply. STO can be a supply. A production order can be a supply. So it takes a requirement, it takes from the suppliers, and it will also take the current stock, calculate what is the stock available, and calculate what is the requirement. If the stock is more than requirement, then it will not plan anything. If the stock is less than the requirement, or if its stock is going to be empty after this requirement, then system will plan accordingly and place the order. And this MRP runs in the respective dates. It checks when the requirement is required, at what date should the requirement be raised. Do we have any availability of material? Do we have current stock available? The current stock is available, then that is fine. If the current stock is not available, then do we have the upcoming supplies? When I say upcoming supplies, it is do we have any open POs? Do we have any open PR, which is already ordered? If it is there, then it will not plan again. If it does not have, then it will plan. So MRP is going to try to find what is the shortage of material which business might require. Okay. For example, if I say that I require 100 pieces of material, I have only 80 pieces in my stock. This is my requirement. This is my stock. This 80 pieces might be direct stock, or it might be open PO also. There is an open PO already placed to supplier. So I'm still missing the 20 pieces of stock. So from where the 20 pieces will come? So it will say that either it can come from vendor, or you can or you're going to get the product produced from your internal house, system will say that we are having a plan order which later will get converted to production order. And here, if it needs to be procured, system will say you need to procure, you need to create a purchase requisition, which later will be converted to purchase order. So what is the key thing here? The key thing is a shortage. System is going to react either if there is a shortage of the material. Considering all the aspects. What is the requirement coming from outside? What is the stock we have? Do we have any open purchase orders placed to suppliers? It is going to calculate all these things. And if it still finds any shortage, then system will plan the order accordingly. If all the things are fulfilling the requirement, then system will not react. To do this manually, so what an employee should do, he should check what is the requirement coming from sales order, production order, STU, everything. You need to check the stock manually. Check if there is any open PO manually. Then if it is a shortage, then you need to place a PR. To do all these activities, it's going to take a lot of time. So that is the reason to reduce a manual task. SAP has introduced a concept called MRP, which is going to fulfill this requirement. And this is going to happen only for the direct material. System will create a purchase requisition for the direct material, but not for indirect materials. We need to manually create the purchase requisitions for the indirect material. But for the direct material, system will plan automatically. So that is the reason we call direct material planning is structured and indirect material planning is unstructured. So this is the MRP. Before I move into different types of MRP, any questions here?
Venkatesh, who will do that MRP run? Is it system? Do we set up in the system, or will it be done automatically?
Yeah, there are two steps that can be done manually, as it can also be done automatically. If you want to run manually, you can put the transaction and run it. So that will check everything and give you the proposals. You can also automate it by using a batch job. So batch job is nothing but, as I mentioned in the earlier session, so batch job is going to be an automatic setup. So you're going to tell every day, every 2 hours, the transaction should run automatically. So you set the time, morning 9, then 11, then 1, and 3, and 5. When you set this background job, system will automatically run this and it will give the output for you. You don't want to do anything manually. So you have both feasible.
So during the batch jobs, will the production happen or any sales happen? Because will it vary the real time data?
No, nothing. So when it is running, so it is going to consider the open sales order, everything, and new sales order gets created. However, in next 2 hours, again the run is going to happen, right?
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, if no questions, then I'll move to different MRP types. In SAP, we have multiple MRP types. So MRP types. So the first MRP type, let me talk something regarding plan dependent. Then we have the reorder point. And then we have the no planning. And we also have some more MRP types like planning, including BOM, automatic planning, based on forecasting. Okay, so these are the high level MRP types, but we have still more MRP types. So PD is nothing but the demand requirement. So what happens in this demand requirement? We are going to give the demand to the system. System is not calculating anything. System is not going to check the current stock. System is not going to check what is open orders, anything. We are directly giving the requirement to the system. I'm telling in the month of July, I need 100 pieces. In the month of August, I need 200 pieces. In the month of September, I need 300. In the month of October, I need 400. So I am giving the requirement to business. Oh, sorry, I'm giving the requirement to system, and system will plan accordingly. Every month, this is a quantity which will go to supplier. That is the plan independent. Okay, so the plan independent can be coming from the independent requirement, the sales order, the production order, from the high level system. So you need to check those and decide what is the quantity should be raised. You can calculate on your own and you can give the values to system. Okay, it will check all the suppliers on time frame. There is a time frame, and that would be suggesting you what will be the shortage against the shortage. We need to create and place a requisition to the suppliers. Okay, then we have the second type of planning, which is no planning, which is called as ND. This is called as PD. These are SAP codes. We have ND. ND is nothing but no planning. For some materials, you don't want to plan, system don't want to plan anything. You are going to take care of it outside SAP. If there are some materials which you don't want SAP to plan and you want to take outside of SAP, then you can go with this no planning. Okay. Then we have this third type of planning, which is the reorder planning, which is VP. This plays a very important role in SAP system. Now in reorder planning, what basically happens is we are checking the demand here. In reorder based planning, I'm not checking any demand of the material. I'd be checking only the stock level. When I say stock level, I'll tell that I have material M1. In plan independent, I'm telling every month I need to get this material from supplier. So this is fixed. In no planning, I don't want planning anything to happen by system. So I'll plan manually. Coming to reorder point planning, for this material M1, I will decide that in my storage location, the stock of this material always should be 500 pieces. I should always maintain a stock of 500 pieces. The stock is going down, I need to order. If the stock is going down to 300, I need to order. I need to fulfill again and keep the stock of 500 pieces. So that is the reorder planning. Any questions here regarding three planning types?
So in reorder, suppose if the stock goes down, will the planner place the orders or the end user?
Your voice is very disturbance.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me, Venkatesh?
Yes, but there is some disturbance. I don't know it is only for me or others also.
Suppose if in
Yeah,
hello,
yeah, reorder based planning.
yes, in reorder based planning, suppose if the stock goes down, who will place the order? Is it a end user who is working or the planner, MRP planner?
It is an MRP planner.
Okay.
MRP planner will run the MRP, and a purchase requisition will get created. And based on that, the buyer will come into picture and convert that PR into PO. The buyer is just to convert the PR into PO with the help of vendors. Okay, so these are the three important MRP types which we are using. Plan dependent. So we directly give the stock values to the system, and system will plan accordingly every month. It will not check what is the stock it is having. It will not check what is the requirement coming. It only follows the quantity what we give. Then we have the reorder based planning. Reorder based planning will completely focus on the stock. It will check what is the stock we have, and if the stock is going down to the set point, we will set a reorder based planning point. If it is going below that, then system will directly trigger an order. So that is a reorder based planning. Then we have the no planning. If we don't need to plan certain materials, where, for example, indirect material, then you can set it as no planning. Then we have the planning including BOM. So assume that there is a bill of material, a finished material, under that you have components. When you run MRP, a regular MRP of reorder based planning or plan independent, the MRP runs only for the finished product. MRP will not run for the components. So if you need to run the MRP for finished product as well as the components, then you need to use this planning including BOM. So when you run the MRP, the planning happens both for both the finished product and the components and under it. Okay. And you have automatic planning forecasting. This is completely handled by PP. So this is going to check what is the past consumption and provide you the proposals. Forecasting is nothing but the past consumption. Okay. So majorly we use these three as an MRP type. Okay. So plan independent. Let me show in system how it looks plan independent. Before that, let me show you some MRP configurations. We are not the owner of MRP planning. The PP guys are owner of the MRP planning, but I'll just show where the MRP configuration is available. And from our side, what we need to do. In the meanwhile, any questions? I'll log into the system. Let me share my screen now. Let me know if you can see. Under SPRO, under SPRO IMG, this config does not come under MM, so we are not the owner of this configuration. This configuration comes under production. So the production planning are the owner of this configuration. So here you find the material requirement planning. So under this, you will see the plant parameter, the MRP group, the number ranges. So first, let us discuss planning the MRP planning, the plant parameter. So what is this plant parameter? This plant parameter is going to decide for particular plant, how are we going to run the MRP. If you configure this plant parameter, that means you have configured the complete MRP, because here you have all the things in the configuration list. These all are divided into different sections. So first thing, when you run the MRP, there are different types of documents getting created. So you have plan order, you have purchase acquisition, you have reservations. Okay. So why we have different types of orders getting created? So let me ask you a question. If we have a requirement, if we are going to purchase that material from outside, if you're going to purchase the material from vendor, So what should we create? Should we create
We
PR?
should, it should be a purchase order.
Okay, it should be a purchase order. So purchase order is a final document. But when we are planning an MRP will plan a purchase requisition first. And that purchase requisition can be converted to purchase order. Now, when you are manufacturing this material in-house, internally, so are we going to create a purchase requisition?
No, it should be a planned order, I guess.
Okay, so it should be a plan order. Should be a plan order. That plan order should get converted to the production order, and that will go to the manufacturing industry. So how system is able to identify for this material we need to have a plan order. For this material we need to have a production order. So that is decided based on the material master. In the material master, I don't have MRP view activated. Let me extend this to MRP view. In the MRP view, we have an option called procurement key. Here you have the procurement type, which is F. As of now, it is set as F. F is nothing but external procurement. E is nothing but an internal procurement. If you are manufacturing this material internally, then set this procurement type as in-house production. If you are buying this material externally from supplier, then maintain external procurement. So based on this, the system is going to decide, is this material going to get manufactured internally, or this material is getting produced or purchased from external. And based on this, system will create the plan order or the purchase requisition. If you set it as in-house production, then it will create a plan order. If you set it as external procurement, then it will create a purchase requisition. So that is the MRP run deciding when it should be a plan order, when it should be a purchase requisition. Okay. Now here you have the number ranges. Whenever the plan order is getting created, what is the number range it should affect? Whenever you go creating a purchase requisition, what is the number range? So for plan order, this is the number range. For purchase requisition, this is the number range. 6, this is the number range. Only to differentiate. Why we have different number range here for purchase requisition and in the config? Only to differentiate which purchase requisition is coming from MRP and which is coming from manual requisition. Okay, and we can also differentiate that by creation indicator. In the PR, there is an option called creation indicator. Let me show that. MD53. Here, in the contact person, you have creation indicator. So this will explain you how this PR got created. Did we create this PR manually? Did this got converted from plan order? Did this got generated from MRP? So this creation indicator will tell which PR got created from which source. Okay, if you see MRP created POs or PRs, that will have this number range. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing is the back orders. So when I say back order, system will check if there is any open PO or open PR in the system. If it is there, then it will not create any PR or PO. Okay, that is a back order. Is there any order hiding in the back end? Then if you want to pull a reporting, you can pull the report every monthly wise or based on the period. That is also set here. You can see based on days, based on month, based on weeks, when you want to pull a report. Okay. Then you have the MRP controllers. MRP controllers are nothing but, are we going to run an MRP for this or not? Or are we going to run the MRP through SAP, or are we going to run the MRP through third-party system? Then we have the special procurement. Special procurement is nothing but when you run an MRP, should it create a PR, a direct PR, or it should create a consignment order, or it should create a stock transfer order? That is decided here. So for some materials, a business will fix that. For this material, I don't want to buy from external supplier. Every time I have a manufacturing plant, and when I run an MRP, the system should create a purchase requisition or a stock transfer requisition to the other plants. Our system should always create a subcontracting PO to the other plant, to the supplier. So that part is covered through special procurement key, and this key needs to be maintained in your MRP config. And this key needs to be maintained in your master data also in the MRP2 view. Okay. Then you have this BOM. How can we control the BOM? As I mentioned, when we run the MRP, the BOM also should be included or BOM should be excluded. If you select BOM explosion, if you include this, it will get exploded through the components also. If you exclude this, then it will not run. That is one thing. And you have external procurement. What is available stock? From where all it should fetch the stock. It should use the stock and transfer, block stock, restricted stock. It should use all the stock. Okay. From where all it should check the stock is available or not. Then you have the conversion. The conversion is nothing but whenever system is creating a plan order, should a plan order convert to production order or a plan order should get converted to purchase requisition? Normally, if we are maintaining the material in-house, then the plan order should get converted to production order, not to the purchase requisition. In some cases, the plan order might also get converted to purchase requisition if the production department does not have the bandwidth. The production order, so if the production team does not have the bandwidth, then they are going to transfer the order to the vendor. In that case, you can also use the plan order getting converted to the purchase requisition. Okay. So these are the important configuration for the MRP. Now, if I move down, you have number ranges. We all covered it. We have master data. We didn't cover this. So under master data, we covered MRP controller here itself in plan parameter. But we need to cover the MRP type. So what is MRP type? So we discussed what is MRP types. We have reorder based planning. We have plan independent. We have no planning. So if we open the reorder planning, this reorder planning is going to tell how the planning is going to happen, what it should consider. Should it consider the subcontracting, order reservation, purchase requisition? So this is a standard reorder based planning. So should it also calculate the safety stock, the reorder point? So this discussion will be open with business, and based on the business decision, we are going to change these options. This is nothing but how should we consider this type of stock, or when the MRP run is happening, what all it should act. There is a one-time activity. If you're doing it one time, then you don't want to touch it again. Okay. Next thing. We discuss regarding the special procurement key. Okay. So these are the important configuration for the MRP. Okay. Now let me discuss something regarding the reorder planning and then demonstrate plan independent and reorder planning in system. Okay. So before that, if I want to run a plan independent requirement, so let me create a material quickly. So basic data, purchasing, MRP is important when you're going to plan an MRP run, general accounting, org level, MRP, PD, base end of measure, material group, and let's jump to MRP now. Here, some fields are very important. So if you're running a plan independent, then mention the MRP type as PD, okay, and mention the MRP controller 001 and the lot size. So what is lot size? Lot size is nothing but whenever you're ordering something to vendor in a single lot, how many quantity you should receive. Are you going to receive the lot monthly, or are you going to receive the lot weekly? So how you want to receive the lot? So that you can decide here by selecting you're going to receive lot by lot quantity, or you want to receive the monthly lot, or are you going to receive weekly lot? You also have weekly lot here somewhere, here, weekly lot, or you want to receive the fixed order quantity. So that can be decided based on the lot size. Okay. And let me do it monthly lot size. Now in MRP2, here the procurement type. Whenever we run an MRP, this material is produced internally, or are we purchasing this material externally? If you're purchasing internally, then maintain E as internal, in-house, maintain F as external. As of now, if you don't have idea it is internal or external, then maintain X. It can be both procurement. Then you have the special procurement. Are you going to create a normal PR, or are you going to create a stock transfer? 1 second. My remote desktop stopped working. Okay. And special procurement, are we going to place a consignment order, or are we going to place an STO order? What order are we going to place? Or are we going to place a normal purchase requisition? If you're going to place a stock transfer, use this. If you want to place a subcontract, use this. If you want to place a consignment, use this. If you're going to place a normal PR, then leave it as it is, blank. Okay. If it is produced in-house, then how many days are we going to take to produce it in-house? If you're placing an external PO, then how many days is it going to take? What is the safety stock? Okay. And in one more thing, in MRP1, there is an option called maximum lot size, maximum stock level, and minimum lot size. We decided that here we need to receive a monthly lot size. If you set minimum lot size as 10, supplier can send at least 10 pieces in a lot. If I keep 100 here, supplier is going to send maximum of 100 pieces in a lot. Okay. Maximum stock level is not required for plant consumption. It is required for reorder plus planning. Okay. MRP2. In MRP3, availability check. We discuss what is availability check in STO. Okay. In the valuation class, I maintain the valuation class. Going average price. I'm going to save it. Valuation class 3040 is not available. Okay. This material is placed. Now, as I mentioned, this material we are going to use for plan independent. So what is plan independent? As I mentioned, we are going to give the quantity to the system, stating that this is a quantity you need to place for every month. So where are we going to set that quantity? The quantity is set in the transaction MD61. One second, someone is using my account. Okay, this is MD61. MD61 is a transaction where you can tell system that every month what is the quantity you need to order. So I come to MD61, I put the material, I put the plant, click on enter. No requirement type exists for this material. So system is not able to find the requirement type. So let me go to the material, check the material once. I'll just check the MRP. This is PD, this is 1000. In MRP2, I have this information. In MRP3, I don't have the strategy group. Let me enter the strategy group. Strategy group is nothing but I'm telling system that for what purpose I'm going to use this stock. So I'll be using the stock to make stock. Save. Now I'll run. MD61. Okay. Now I have a screen stating this material in this plant every month from July to next July. What is the quantity I need to get from supplier? So I'll tell for this month I need 100. For next month I need 200. For next month I need 300. Again 100. Again 200. Again 500. Okay, for this year I need this stock. I'll enter the data here and save it. And where can you monitor this MRP or planning? MRP or planning or the requirement can be monitored using the transaction MD04. Whenever you're running the MRP, MD04 is an important transaction. So this will show the history of the transaction. If I come to MD04, I'll be able to see what is the current stock available, what are the open requirements. So you can see for the month of July, my requirement is 100. For the month of August, it is 200. For the month of September, 300. Again 100, 200, 500. Currently stock is 0. So now this is the requirement. I have defined system that it should act as I say. So this will create, now if I run an MRP, that will create the plan order or the purchase requisition based on the procurement type and leave the requisition open for you. And that requisition will go to the buyers. They'll see for which supplier they need to order and they will order accordingly. So now how can we run the MRP? Let me keep the screen open. I'll run the MRP using MD01N. MD01N is a transaction to run an MRP. So I'll go here. I'll put the material, put the planning mode 3, always 3, execute. Enter. Now the planning has been started. It is collecting all the planning files you can see. And now it is running the MRP. When the MRP run is happening, it is going to check what is the stock level available, what are the orders, and what is the requirement given. In plan dependent MRP type, system will not check any stock. It will not check any open orders. It is going to check only the plant independent what I have given in the MD61. Based on that information, system will create the requisitions or the plan orders and give it to you. Okay, normally it should not take so much of time. As it is only one material, it should take only 1 or 2 seconds. I don't know why it is taking so much of time. So let's wait. Okay, the MRP run has happened. It has taken 1 minute. Okay, so planning is done. Now if I go back to the MD04 and I have refresh button here, I click on refresh. For all the lines, it created the plan order. You can see plan order is created. This is a plan order for 100 pieces. for 100, for 100. Okay. Can someone answer now? I have requested 100, 200, again 100, 200, and 500. Right? But why I have so many plan orders created? So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 14 plan orders created. Can someone tell why 14 plan orders got created here? Yes, in the material. Yes. In the material, if I open the material, in the material MRP view, I have given the maximum lot size as 100. So system is creating the lot size as 100. So each and every PR or plan order is created only for 100. That is the reason. So now if I go remove that lot size and run the MRP again, I'll have only 4 plan orders for 4 months. Okay, so this is how the MRP is going to work. And for this plan order, I can convert this plan order into production order. If I click on this convert production order, it'll get converted to production order. Production order. Or if I want to convert this plan order into purchase requisition, I can convert this into purchase requisition. This is going to get converted to purchase requisition. And if I assign, okay, I saved it. And if I refresh, I have a PR getting generated for this. So if I can convert a plan order into production order directly from here, I can convert the plan order into purchase requisition directly. And I can also convert this purchase requisition into production order from here. Okay, so this is how the MRP run is going to happen for the plan dependent. Now, if I move quickly to planned reorder, for that, we need to create one more material. Or I can do one thing, I can use the same material. I can directly go to MRP view. I'll quickly change this PD to VB. VB is nothing but reorder based planning. If I enter the MRP type as PB, system will ask me to enter the reorder planning. So let me explain what is this reorder point. Let me reshare my screen. Let me sketch something so you'll have an idea. So as I mentioned, the reorder based planning is going to focus on the stock level. So I'll tell system that my maximum stock should be 1000. Okay. And my reorder planning should happen when the stock comes to 500 pieces. And my safety stock is 100. Okay. What system will do in this case, I'll set these values. I'll set these values here. I'll tell my reorder pointing is 500. Whenever the stock is coming and falling under 500, it should place an order. Okay. And my lot size, I'll keep it as maximum stock level. Remove this. I'll remove this. And I'll tell the maximum stock level what I need to have in system is 1000 every time. So what system will do? System will try to keep the stock in the warehouse always 1000. The stock is falling below 500. Then system will trigger an order. So as I mentioned, I'll keep the stock always as 1000. There will be sales order coming, there will be production order coming, the stock comes down and come to this value. As soon as the stock comes to this value, system will trigger an order. System will trigger the MRP and trigger the PR. At this point, the PR is created or plan order is created. Let me ask you a question now. The stock was 1000. We keep on using it. Now the stock came to 500. Now system is triggering a PR. For what quantity system should trigger a PR? For what quantity system should trigger a PR? Your maximum is 1000. Now you have 500. So it should create a PR for 500 pieces because you already have a quantity of 500. So what system will assume? System will always think it should keep the stock in the warehouse as 1000. As you have 500 pieces in the stock, so there are shortage of 500 pieces. So it will order 500 pieces. And the lead time for this PR is 15 days or 10 days. In this 10 days, you still keep on using the stock. Now supplier will deliver you the stock, so stock will go here. It will not go and reach 1000. It is below 1000 because you again use the stock here. Again, we keep on using it. It will trigger an order here. Again, a PR gets generated for 500. Again, we keep on using. The vendor will deliver the goods again. You keep on using. A PR gets generated. Again, you keep on using. Now what happens? Now vendor failed to deliver you the goods on the time. So it is coming and touching the safety stock. Now its system will alert you saying that the quantity is touching your safety stock. Now you need to go and talk to your vendor and get the goods. Then again, the vendor will deliver you the goods. It will place only here. Then again, at this point, again, the PR will be raised. Okay, you keep on using it. Then again, the stock comes. So this cycle will keep on running. So this is the reorder planning. So to replicate this scenario and system, we need to set system in this way. Set the reorder based planning as 500. So whenever it reaches 500, it is going to create an order. Maximum stock level as 1000 and the safety stock as 100. So these values need to be filled. Now I'll keep it as yes. If I keep X, it created plan order. Now I'll keep F, that is external procurement. System will directly create an purchase requisition. Saving it. As soon as I save everything, if I go to MD04 and refresh, I'll go back from here. /n MD04. All the things which we did earlier will be still there. Okay, if I refresh, we'll still see. Now, if I go back to the MRP run and tell system a planning mode saying that delete all the planning what has happened initially and recreate it. Or you can also keep the planning what has happened and add this requirement also to your planning. So I'll delete everything and recreate. I'll run it. The planning happens. So all the plan orders which got created in system will get deleted and you will have the PR getting created. So if I go and refresh it, all the things got deleted. So your all requirement coming from planning dependent is deleted. So you have 100, 100, 200, 300, 100, 200, 500. Everything is deleted. Now, there was already a PR of 100 pieces created. Your maximum stock level should be 1000. So it should have raised a PR for 1000 directly. It has raised new PR for 900 because you already have a PR for 100. So this is how the system is going to plan based on the market. Any questions? Any questions here? Okay. Okay, if no questions, then let me start with the second topic, which is supplier evaluation, and let me try to cover the supplier evaluation here, as we still have 45 minutes, or we can stretch on for 1 or 15 minutes and get this completed. So let me quickly stop the recording and restart it so that the recording will be divided.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Okay, the initial recording will be your MRP, and second recording will be your supplier evaluation. So now, this is a level 2 topic. So till MRP we